Hi there, hope your day went well. Welcome back to my channel. From one of your complaints, I noticed that you said clearly that you are having difficulties using Visual Studio Code to experiment with the practical we're doing. So instead of using Visual Studio Code, I'll be using Sublime Text. I'll be using Sublime Text for this class from this point upwards. So let's go straight to what we're working on. I'm going back to the folder. This is our class folder. I'm going to delete all the files we have here. So I'll delete all except this style sheet. So I'll go straight to the start button and type Sublime. Open Sublime Text. This is Sublime Text. Remember, you can download Sublime Text from Google as Sublime Text. Automatically the link, the download link will appear. So now when you open Sublime Text, go straight to File and click on Open Folder. Choose the folder you want to launch. The folder should be this our class folder. Click on Select Folder, Open. So now we'll go straight to File. By the left hand side here, we have the folders found inside this other folder. There are subfolders inside the folder, of which we created all these together. So you go straight to File, click on New File, and save it as index.html. So I want to use this to override the former one that was still in that folder. So make sure you are clicking on the folder I want to save it into as the folder we're working on, index.html. So unlike in Visual Studio Code, remember there was a difficulty we were having in Visual Studio Code that made you complain. So this is Visual Studio Code. I want to show you something again so that we will be on the same page. Take for example, I open this same class folder on Visual Studio Code. Assuming I opened it here, this very one called index. If I just type exclamation and press enter, it will generate the default codes for my coding environment on the web page. So, but the same doesn't happen in Sublime. If you press that exclamation mark 100 times, it will never show. So, what do we do? In Sublime Text, you have to press less than and type HTML and press enter. It will appear. Yes. The only difference between the code that appeared here and the other one is that this one has shorter meta tag, while the one in Visual Studio Code has longer meta tag. Like it has about 2 meta tags displayed that are accessible for you to use programming your web page, while this other one has only but 1 meta tag. So don't worry about that. Just delete whatever you have here. Let's close this Visual Studio Code and ignore the code here. Let's work with Sublime Text. So save the changes you just made. Under the title page, I want to call the title my second web page. So I'm just say my home page. So I'll call it home page because it's the index page. So now the body, inside the body, I want us to do something new. Remember last time we worked on pictures, how to align pictures using CSS, how to align pictures by default using normal HTML codes. Today we'll be using CSS to experiment. First of all, I want us to learn how to declare a CSS class. So we'll go straight to our CSS and clear the memory, clear all the information we saved here before, and leave just this. So go back to HTML and immediately before your title page, put your working with CSS class. So use /title as a title. So when you want to declare a CSS style, a class, you have to first of all name it, then go to the style sheet and update the properties, describe the properties. So let me just remove it and leave only the class is what we define. So what class are we going to use here? I want you to take a look at this. So go to style sheet, come down, put your class. See. So first of all, let me describe what I want to achieve with this. I want it to be at the center of the page with a white background. That's this very paragraph. I want to be at the center of the page with a white background and much more well placed to be in line with this title. So go back. This is the code. Remember how I arrived at this point. Let me repeat myself again. I have to go straight to this, copy the container name. This is the name. Then this other one, I'll call it IMG. While this one is the paragraph container. Copy the paragraph container, just like to the style sheet. Push.this and start. Whenever you are working on a class, you must put the dot sign to start creating the properties of that class. Press enter. First you start with the position, make it static. Then after that we have the weight. I want the weight to be let me show you something. 100% of the screen, and then the background color, I want it to be white color. Save and reload the web page. This is what it will look like. The div has taken its own space. So for that div, everywhere that the class PAR container stands there be is what we have that. So I've updated my page now. It's only this slide I have that PAR container as the class. So and then the title here has its own declaration that made it not be covered by the white color there. So we'll have to work on it separately. But let me finish with the data. So what do we do now? I'm going back to the same property, and I'll come here and declare the weight 100%. You have seen what it looks like. I want it to be a little bit smaller to 50% of the web page. So the weight here will be taking the weight of every device. If the device is smaller, it will take 50% of the smallness. It is higher. So in essence, I made it mobile responsive. So 50% of whatever screen the device has is what it will take. So now I want it to be 50%, and then come here and make the margin to be at the center of the page. I just did that, and it is at the center of the page now. So I want it to have some padding. The padding should be 25 pixels, while the padding here, and while the border radius, I want it to have curvy edges to be 15 pixels. This is what I mean by curvy edges. The edges here should be curved. To load it to take curvy edges at the edge of every angle of this web page, making it look a little bit fanciful. So let's do the same for the second one. I will go straight to the Sublime Text environment, go and copy the new class that we're working on. That is an image container. Copy it. We are going to give it similar properties like this one. Paste it and start writing. First, to start with the position, which is static. Then I want the weight to be also 50% of the web page, and then the background color, I want it to be smoky white, not just pure white. Then I want the margin, just like the one we have above, to be 0 auto. I want it to be center-aligned. So, and the padding to be the same, like 25 pixels. You can choose anything you want. And the border radius, I want it to be the same, 15 pixels. So that both will look closely same. So we see they are almost the same, but the color is a little bit different. This one is darker, but this one is lighter. So now I need the gap between here. That's the margin. So I'll go straight to the margin for the paragraph container and say margin bottom. I want the margin bottom to be 15 pixels. Saved. Refresh your page. This is what we have here. So now we have what we need, and it is looking good in our eyes. So what do? Go back to the first div, which is this guy. I want us to work on the title to make it much better for us. So the title is this that we have here with heading 3. So we are going to refer to the heading 3 found inside paragraph container. So what do? You go straight to the paragraph container that gives better that heading. So you come down below it and say dash paragraph container. Paragraph container, you have a heading called heading 3. Please take this into consideration. The color, I want the color to be red, dark red, and I want the text align to be center, and I want the font style, that's the handwriting style, or you call it font family. I want it to be Arial. I want the font size to be 22 pixels. Save it. Go back here and reload the page. This is what we have. So this background that is giving it the background color, do we really need it? No, we don't need this background color. So this is where we control it from. I want this background color to be removed from this guy, and then we declare body as having that so that it can really be controlled. Yeah, only the body is having it, not general background for every guy here should be orange. No, it's not possible. We don't want that, so we make it look good. So now we want to work on the text itself. I want to change the font style of the text inside. So this time I will have to place them inside the paragraph. That's P and end of P. So when I place them inside P, I can also come here and say that paragraph container gave birth to a child called P. Remember, you must copy the name carefully. So this is the P, the child, font family to be Arial, and then font size, I want it to be something like 12 pixels. Saved and reload the page. You see it's fine, but it's so tiny. We want it to be bigger than that, so you just give it 15 or 16 and reload the page again. This is much more better. So I want it to have line spacing so that it probably jump out like that. So for example, when you increase the write-ups inside this paragraph, take a look at what it will look like, which we don't want to achieve that, we want something better. So when you reload this page with so many paragraphs, see, it's too jump out that is not readable. So what do? We want to space it out so that it can be readable. So you go straight to the paragraph and come down here and say line height to 1.8 pixels or just 1.8, depending on what you want to achieve. So 1.8 pixels is still unbelievable. So 1.8 is nice. This is much more better than what we had earlier. So now I want to reduce the content to be a little bit smaller so that our work can really fly. So we have this here, and you reload the page. This is what we have. Yeah. So now we're working on the second guy, which is this second div guy. We want the image. First of all, the image need it to be bigger. We want the image to anyway, we want the image to just take a bigger size, cover from here to there, and this write-up being the title should be on top of the image. So what do? You come straight to the title and make it a title heading 3 and end slash heading 3. Just doing that to make it go. It has gone up. I believe you are seeing what I'm doing. So now you come down straight and take this image belongs to this div that is controlling everybody here, because the div started here and ended here. So everybody in between is being controlled by this guy. So copy this guy. Remember the name. We have already declared its properties here. So what we need to do now is to declare the property that any image that comes inside it will have. So for us to do that, we just need to put img. If you call the name of the folder, the class, you call img. So when you say img, text align text line center should not be for this guy. Just come here for the container itself, text align center for the container. Then for the image itself, I want it to be the width should be 100% of whatever container it is inside. Then the position should be static. Yeah, that's what's up. And I want it to have its own border. It will maintain the border of the original container, which is a border of 15 pixels. That's border radius of 15 pixels. So reload the page, the image has taken that shape. But they're making it 100% has made the margin to appear by the left of the page. Would that be fine? Could that be fine? So we need to examine carefully if that will be necessary. So for now, we can make it text line is at the center of the page. So why do we have gap here? Why do we have gap? The gap is welcomed. So you have to just reduce the size a little bit to something like 80%. Let's see what we have there. So this one is much better. And that's it. So I believe you understood what we did today clearly. It's not much, but with CSS our page is now looking much more neat and fine. It's not looking dirty, it's not looking anyhow. So finally, before we leave, I want us to make this my image title to be bigger. I believe you can do that by yourself. So just come select the image class and then say heading 3. I want the font size to be 22 pixels and then the font family to be Arial. Save it and reload the page. That's what we have here. And then I want this div for the paragraph to be by the left, the div for the image to be by the right, and that's what we'll stop for today. You have to go straight to the paragraph that controls this. Is the varied class that controls the paragraph. As you can see here, already declined that. So just come here, say display equal to inline table, and then save it. Take a look at what will be happening. It has shifted to the left. Then the other way around, you come down to the one that controls the image. Look for the image. This is the one that controls the image here. Remember the exact name. Look up for where it has been declared here. Yeah, this is where it was declared. So we say display equal to inline table and save it. As for saving it, you see they are now responding well, but I want it to climb up to be by the right of this my paragraph. So I will have to narrow down the size of each one so that the size can actually carry them both at this point. So what do? I will go straight to this, reduce this size. 50% is fine, but depends on the margin that I have. I want to put 45% and 45% so that I will not have any much difficulty because I'll still put the margin in between them. So I've done that and they are now in line with each other with 45% or 5%. They are well placed. This is the end of today's class. I believe you enjoyed the tutorial. Please stay subscribed to my channel Pascal and Reno TV for more interesting videos like this so that you can learn how to program your own website one day and be a software developer forever.